Coming at you from New Jersey, the capital of misery, a place where metal forgot to die.
This is the Here Lies Metal, Too Many Notes, New Music Review. I am Samantha.
And I am Maledictus. We shall be your overlords for today and all of eternity. Welcome! What are we doing today?
What do we have today, Maledictus?
This is Shadowland with the Necromancers Castle.
Okay, Shadowland. This is a heavy metal band. They're from New York City, formed 2018. We're all first names in this band, so we've got Tanya on vocals, Jeff on guitar, we got Al on guitar, Cedric on bass, and Dave on drums.
Speaking of New York City, I'd like to congratulate Eric Adams of Manowar as the new mayor, by the way. That's awesome.
All right.
Death to false metal. Okay?
We're purveying false news right now.
It's not false. His name is Eric Adams. He's the mayor, okay?
Moving on, back to Shadowland. This is their debut album. They had a demo back in 2018 when they formed. Their first EP, The Watcher, was in 2019. And here we are, 2021, with the Necromancers Castle. It's available on streaming. You can get it on CD via No Remorse, soon to be vinyl. No tapes yet. That should be rectified.
So now, as we get on with the review, it's time for the Here Lies Metal 5-point bidirectional classification scale, including the categories of genre loyalty, listenability, production style, musical complexity, and just plain fun. Please note that either end of the scale means good or bad. Let's get underway.
Okay, scale 1, the scale of genre, true to nonconformist. We're getting a 1. This is heavy metal, so you've got a lot of hot rockin' riffs on this album. Got twin guitar action, we've got a clear vocal that's not afraid to get mean and growl, but in between the more melodic lines, and even some light synth work here and there. Very close, I would say, to Riot in many respects, though I heard at least one song that reminded me very distinctly of Judas Priest.
Yes, there's a couple of those. They've got the holy trinity of Priest, Riot, and that obligatory Thin Lizzy sometimes. It's the sound anyone would expect from a dad rock band. This is what they do. And and it's straight on, and but yeah, she sounds speaking of Riot, she sounds exactly like Guy Speranza of Riot. I thought the first time I heard you listening to it, I thought I was like, oh, is this Riot? That but early late 70s Riot.
It's true. Yeah, there's she sounds a lot like resemblance.
Yeah, I think a lot of these bands are really into Riot. So.
Yeah, it's a very upbeat album. Only really slows down to maybe mid-tempo for one song, and it's very nostalgic kind of listen. We're not treading any new water. We're in a very nice, very familiar pond here of heavy metal.
Yeah, this is dad rock. Not my dad. My dad wouldn't listen to this.
Not my dad either.
Yeah, but but if you're younger, you have a boomer dad. Your boomer dad probably likes this stuff. He's probably like, yeah, bro, this is awesome. And but I like it too. As an old person, I like it too. I think this is awesome.
You are dad.
Yeah, I am. I could be dad, right? I could be your dad. You never know. Like many bands today, Shadowland takes you back to a bygone era. A lot of bands are doing this today because why not? Good times, heavy metal parking lots, and guitar solos. All right. That's what we're doing here, bringing it back to good times.
All right, scale 2, the listenability scale of sonic terror to distorted pop. We're getting a very high listenable score here of 4.5, just because there's so many melodies and catchy hooks, and it's only that ever-present kind of mean bite to it that keeps it dirty and raw. That's going to keep it from the top end of the scale, but still very high and listenable. These songs, they're very distinct from each other, memorable riffs and choruses. Song structures are straightforward, very standard, regular structures. It's easy listening for easy living.
Easy living.
I want to highlight the vocal performance in particular as just being really dynamic. This is a vocal album, vocal-centric, followed closely by guitars, but I just love how not just the choruses, the vocal melodies and the choruses are memorable, but she also makes very melodic verses that are memorable as well. She's got a great delivery. She can manipulate herself from a mean snarl to a more passionate melodic voice, and there's a lot of multiple very ominous sounding spoken word sections as well that I enjoyed. It gives the album a great flavor. It's not to say there's not fun guitar work on the album that keep it listenable and engaging. But the vocals really go strong throughout, where the riffs sometimes take more of a back seat, with a few exceptions, I would say, namely the opener, Ligeia, and track 5, Warhound, which is probably my favorite track on the album, and features the hottest riffs. So yes, very listenable album.
I wonder if Ligeia is named after the movie Ligeia's Tomb or something. But yeah, I was hoping the Easy Living song was a Uriah Heep cover. You know, it's something up there but never found before. It's that easy living, but it wasn't. So, you know, they would have been good doing a Uriah Heep song. But anyway, there's no sonic terror that I could detect. You know, maybe you found a little bit, but maybe not so much. But like you said, this is vocal and guitar music, as a lot of this type of music is. You know, they don't really care about the rhythm section much. Those guys are just kind of an afterthought. Sorry, guys.
I mean, they're solid.
They're absolutely like.
Well, we'll get into
building the bricks behind it, building the foundation. But you know, we're looking at the guitar players, and the vocalist. Guitar and vocals way out front, obviously. So yeah, it's guitar rock. So, you know, and you know, not sonic terror. So.
All right, for our third scale of production, Fisher-Price to high production, let's turn to Maledictus in the production corner.
So we have his 3.5, and that's like in the middle. So the Necromancer's Castle has that 1981 sound, and it's hard to explain that into words. Like, there's certain albums you have to listen to, and it's like, oh, that sound. And, you know, they captured that 1981. It sounds like tape, right? Like if that's what like that is supposed to mean. There's a certain like EQ distribution of the frequencies that give this record like an identical tone, like, you know, like from like, you know, early Riot albums to like Manowar, Hail to England. It has almost like this muffled kind of sound to it. I don't know how you do that to get that sound. I don't know what that phenomenon is, but I'm really curious how they do that. But it makes it sound like from that era. And, you know, I wonder if it were like simulated with like digital technology or if it was actually done real with like real equipment of the time. I don't know. You know, comment down below, guys. Tell me how it's done. Tell me how you guys did this if you're listening. So I want to know.
All right, scale 4, the scale of notes. We're giving this a score of just over 3.5 here, just into too many notes. And like a scale of 3, that's like the correct amount of notes. And I was going to go with that for this just very straightforward rock and roll heavy metal album. A lot of the riffs are very simple, and the leads are often kind of chaos thrashy style rather than your more typical melodic heavy metal style. But what pushed me over the edge into the too many notes category is just one song, track 6, Remains. Which is definitely the epic of the album and features a very nice, extended, and melodic and composed solo. So, good job on that one.
Yeah, it's the correct amount of notes, like you said, for this type of music. But, you know, we're not getting into like Iron Maiden levels of sophistication. You know, even though it's like that era, we're not going there. But, you know, the solos are pretty standard. They don't stand out. You know, other from like, you know, for this type of music, you know, it's like the kind of solo you would expect from this kind of music from me. Shadowland, you know, they check all the boxes, but they don't go outside the box. So, you know, and it would be a little reason to go outside the box when you're doing this kind of music. There's a formula to this kind of music, and you really want to stick to it if you're going to recreate that sound. So, boom.
All right. The final scale fun to focused. We're getting a 1.5 for extremely fun. Mm-hmm. You know, it's heavy metal.
Should be fun.
I didn't give it all the way on the fun score just because thematically, just looking, I didn't have the lyrics, but I had the song titles. We don't have too many songs about metal or partying, perhaps just that song Easy Livin'. Mostly, I don't know what they're talking about. Like maybe we're battling something, like maybe the Necromancer at his castle. We're engaged in a serious struggle.
Maybe we are the Necromancer.
No, I think we're fighting the Necromancer.
We should beat him.
However, this genre is always fun. The riffs are a good time. You will have fun listening to this. The song Easy Living Alone, which I think I've referenced 3 times already, just has the most infectious sing-along chorus. Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah. You know, speaking of Necromancers, on Skyrim, I would like to be a Necromancer.
No one wants to hear about that.
Also on Diablo 2, I like to be the Necromancer. So anyway, yeah, it's rather difficult to classify early metal as anything else but fun. How can you be doing? That's what it was created for. This type of music was the soundtrack of the heavy metal parking lot across the nation. You know, for greasy teen delinquents named Graham.
What's your name?
Graham, man, like Graham a dirt.
Yeah. Where are you from?
You remember that one? Remember that one, folks. So,
okay, let's look at the album art.
Yeah, this one looks better.
Credit goes to Tanya Finder, who I am assuming is the Tanya on the vocals. Mm-hmm. So, it was an inside job.
It's good when like one of your band members could also draw. You don't gotta like pay somebody to draw your thing. It's like, oh, I could draw. It's like, all right, cool. You draw.
All right. So what's going on here?
There's a Necromancer's castle up there, up on the hill.
Yeah.
And this metal guy, I guess, is going to fight, like you were said. Like, this guy is going to fight this metal dude.
I think that's why I thought we were fighting it, because of this cover.
Yeah, this is like a Man of War. This is like a guy from Man of War. He's got the bike and everything. And, he's going to fight a Necromancer, and up there is a Necromancer waiting for him through this sea of mist.
He's got an interesting-looking sword.
It's like a painting. I think this is like a painting.
It's kind of a weird-looking sword.
Oh, yeah, it's one of those, like, sort of curvy sword. It's like a...
I don't know.
One of those wavy... What are those called? There's a name for them. They had them on certain RPGs. I don't remember which, but... I haven't seen one in a while in an RPG, but there was a name for them.
But yes, we're assaulting the castle. It's up here. We're past the cloud line.
Yeah, it's all the way up in the mountains, right? And some people didn't make it over the skulls and stuff, so these people didn't make it. This is like an altar.
It's got kind of like an airbrush look to it.
Yeah, it does have like that down shore kind of like, when you get a painting.
You get this on the boardwalk.
Yeah, you get this on the boardwalk. No offense, that doesn't mean a bad thing.
Well, I think it's a retro look.
Yeah, it's like it's just the kind of like thing you see at a heavy metal parking lot. Like someone would have this maybe on the side of their van.
Yes.
Or something. Oh, so this is I thought maybe this was an altar, but no, this is the bridge. See?
Yes,
that's
a very safe looking bridge.
It's the bridge of death. From the Man of War song. The bridge of death. That's what that is.
All right, you've sung entirely too much today.
And it goes all the way up there, so we don't know what's waiting up there.
All right, well, I think it's a very fitting cover. I like their logo. It's a good logo.
Yeah, it's very steel, very it's got the, and it doesn't look like one of those like. Yeah, it's not like one of those like stupid like font logos. It's like
it's a heavy metal band, and that's what the kind of logo you're gonna have as a heavy metal band.
They did this on like Adobe Illustrator or something. They did a good job. So
you should ride his motorcycle across the bridge.
Yeah. I don't know. You should probably leave. No, you should probably leave the motorcycle there because the journey's beginning. It would end really quick, and the movie would be over because you'd be like, ah.
Well, if he goes really fast, maybe he'll make it.
As the bridge breaks behind him, then he'd never have no way out. If he's running when the castle's when he defeats the Necromancer and the castle's crumbling, he's got to get it
moving in.
And the bridge is not there.
It's your castle.
Oh, he's gonna move in. Okay, but how's he gonna ever get out?
You don't need to get out.
Pizza delivery. Pizza guy comes. Hey, how do I get over there? I don't know.
Yeah, this guy's definitely gonna want pizza.
Yeah, he's gonna want pizza and beer. This dude is gonna want some pizza. So. All right, but yeah, he's got everything he needs here. But he's going to face the Necromancer alone. He doesn't have a party or anything of people to help him.
Just a headbanger. He's fighting for something.
Why would the Necromancer why would he want to kill them? Maybe be allies with the Necromancer.
We don't know. Yeah. Okay. All right, final thoughts. Yeah. Shadowland, the Necromancer's castle. This album's a great time. If you love classic heavy metal, you should definitely listen to this. I thought it was very fresh. And great songwriting and just very, very enjoyable. And it's from right around the corner from us, so that always excites me.
Yeah, they got the sound. A lot of bands in New York City doing that, I guess. Huh? So this got everything you want. If you're looking for that old sound, your dad rock sound.
Definitely great for a debut album too.
Sure, well recorded, well done. Everything's put together well. Everything is solid. So yeah, check it out. The Necromancer's Castle from Shadowland. Check us out for another review very soon. Good night, metalheads. I just called them metalheads. Sorry. Good night, everyone. We'll see you next time. That was really cheesy. Good night, metalheads. Good night, metalheads. All right.